Welcome to Watch What Crappens. To get our videos as soon as they're released instead of waiting for a week, head over to our Patreon. That's also where you'll find our bonus episodes and our Discord community. We love you guys. Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens. I'm Ronnie and that's Ben over there. Hello, Ben.
Hello, Ronnie. How are you?
How are you, buddy?
Doing pretty well, thanks. Happy Monday to you, too.
Yeah.
Are you ready to embrace this week of activity?
Yeah, heck yeah. Grab it by the nuts. Swing it around. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's Real Housewives of Potomac Day here at Crappens. It's also Amazon Live Day. We will be on Amazon Live tonight at 4 p.m. Well, this afternoon at 4 p.m. Pacific time. You can find links at our Instagram, link in bio, okay? It's Mondays at 4. That's when we're doing it, every other Monday. And when we're not doing that, we're doing Crappy Hour at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. Also, if you want these videos, we do recaps on video every day over at patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens. That's also where you get bonus episodes, okay? This week we shopped on Amazon together, completely unaffiliated with Amazon Live, just for fun, because it was like a Prime Day type thing. And we do a lot of previews, we do a lot of bonus episodes, just lots of stuff. Go over there and check it out. And that's it for that. So how are you feeling in general? How's life treating you?
Life's treating me very well,
etc.
It's good. I mean, I think that I feel like on the Bravo front all weekend long, I just feel like I've been talking to people or pondering or watching content about Wendy. And it's like this scandal has really just, I don't know, it's really just, I think it's captured a lot of people's attention. I don't think it's as big as Scandival. I don't know if we will ever see anything out of Bravo that's as big as that. But this one I feel like does have a bit of that shock factor that we haven't seen since then. Like this is a real, it's like a shocker. And what this scandal has going for it, as much as scandals have things going for them, is that much like Scandival, this one broke very early in the season. So I think Scandival, there have been like maybe 3 episodes that had already aired of that season.
Yeah, and then we spent the rest happening.
I don't know, but we spent the rest of the season looking for like breadcrumbs and Easter eggs and signs. And what's going to be, I think, really captivating about this season of Potomac is we're going to obviously be watching it with that POV of like Wendy and Eddie and the things that they say that are damning, etc., the signs that were there under our noses. So I think I do think this one has the possibility to snowball in a little bit of a way, but it won't be as big as Scandival. Not that anyone's asking, but
no, I don't think it will be. I mean,
it.
Now that I've had some time to think about it, sit with it, I held space for it. I sat with it, but now that I've sat with it, it's not that big of a deal.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, look, it's a little insurance fraud. Sure, they faked a robbery, whatever. I don't know. I still believe it's happened so many times on Beverly Hills that they still haven't gotten caught. And I think the other scandals have been a lot bigger. You know, we've got the Jen Shaw thing. That was a huge one. You know, Scandival, obviously. I think that this one is going to be a blip. I think she'll be able to come back from it. I think in the Bravo world, doing a little insurance fraud isn't that big of a deal. Team Wendy.
Well, she will have to, start doing once everything plays out, there's going to be the book, how I lost everything or whatever it is, Zen Wen, and then she'll go on the book tour. She'll do the I got caught up. This is what I've learned. And then she'll do motivational speaking. So I think that will be her path going forward. But I think what's different from this versus like Teresa or Jen Shaw, for instance, or Erica Girardi. Erica Girardi was a big one, but that was really more of a Tom scandal than an Erica scandal. But like there was already inklings about Tom, and the thing is, Jen Shaw was already like, we're like, how does she support this business? Like this, her Shaw squad, you know, she already seemed like full of bullshit as it was. And Teresa and Joe, I mean, come on, like they already had the thing where like Joe like crashed his car and then drank 5 shots of whiskey afterwards because he was so shaken up. Like there's already shadiness surrounding them. But this, much like Scandival, I feel like this one came out of left field and like surprised, like it shook our very idea of who these people were and are. And so that's why I think this one is like really fascinating. And I think it'll be really fun to track over the course of the season.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at their money, I think one of the reasons it's shocking is because they do seem to be living kind of within their means. I mean, I know there were a lot of Birkin bags, and people have posted clips of, like when she wore the Mugler dress, and someone was like, "Yeah, I hope she didn't return that yet." NECA was like, "I hope she didn't return that one." Little comments that are kind of housewives bread and butter comments that people make, like there's always the housewife that her tags is showing, the Sonia Morgan, and there's always that kind of thing. But I think aside from that kind of stuff, they seem to be living within their means. I mean, they live kind of far out of town, and they live in a house that I don't think is too ostentatious, really, in the housewives world.
I would like they're not like, yes, they're not like super splashy. It's not like watching Stephanie's Shojai. However, I was watching a clip this morning on social media. Some lady got on to social media and she frosted a cake. Like the visual was just frosting a cake, but then she's explaining her theories on Wendy, which I was like, this is a great hook.
I saw
because
that,
I'm watching to see it. You saw that same one?
Yeah.
It's like, wow, I'm like invested. I'm going to sit here for 4 minutes and see how this cake turns out, but I'm also going to listen to your theory.
She was doing weird things to the cake, right? It's like she was putting icing on it, and then what was she pouring? Caramel on top, and then she was pouring icing on top again, and then caramel again. I mean, that's crazy. Whatever she was doing looked amazing, I
was in it to see like the way she worked that scraper. But she brought up something that is so, I think, important in terms of understanding this, which is she brought up a lot of different points. And, the woman, she said she has African parents, and she brought in a lot of theories about like what it's like being raised with a very assertive African mother and the pressure that is to have grades, et cetera. But like that aside, she did mention, she has, Wendy has like 5 degrees, right? That comes with a huge amount of student debt. And then Eddie also is a lawyer, so that's going to have some student debt. So the truth is they probably have an enormous amount of debt that is in their life.
Well, we knew that because remember a couple of years ago, there was an article saying they're going to lose everything because they have all this debt and it's all student debt and, this and that. And so we've known that there's like crippling debt for a while. And we're wondering like, how are they doing it?
But that's why I guess I'm bringing that up because it's like, it seems like they live within their means. It's like, yes, it seems that way, but like, that's not taking into account that you have 5 degrees worth of debt.
Yeah.
And on top of that, this person was also theorizing, when like there's a lot of pressure to send money back to the family in like Nigeria and yada, yada. I can't speak to that. And if that is actually a reality in their life, but like that could be something else. But like at the very least, they definitely have a huge amount of student debt. So even them living within their means is still probably them being in is it the black or the red? When are you in debt? Red or black? Whatever color it is.
No, because I lose on both of them in Vegas, so I'm not really sure. I don't.
I think in the red is in debt. Yeah, they're in the red. Okay. That could be your new.
I'm not going to comment on that because I don't know.
That could be her new tagline. Just because I'm in the red doesn't mean I won't read you.
I may be out of the red, but I'm still seeing red. Dr. Wendy. I don't know, but I'm calmed down from this whole thing, and I say nothing burger. I say free Wendy.
Calm down.
It was barely
everyone.
Anything. This is
Ronnie
America. What's a little insurance? What's a little insurance fraud? I mean, come on, it's America.
The goalposts have
Let's get over it.
I just love, guys, America. I just want you all to know, I'm calmed down. It's okay.
I'm calm about it. It's not one of those that's like really sticking in my craw that I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this about Wendy. I got over the initial shock and then I was like,
you're desensitized.
Who hasn't pretended? But I mean, here's the thing though. Here's what the most shocking thing about it is how dumb they are. Like they were literally so stupid about the crime. They made no planning. They went to, I think, were they in Jamaica? I think they were in Jamaica on vacation. They were somewhere on vacation. And they decided to fake this robbery. So they reported all the stuff that was missing that was actually returned to stores. So first of all, that's extremely stupid. Like, duh. I mean, that's an easy thing to follow, especially because receipts are emailed, stuff like that. Then Eddie sent her an email, Ben, email that said, hey, I need to add more stuff to this list. Do you have any more high-priced items that we can add to this insurance list? Because I want to max out the coverage. I want to max out the policy. So that was extremely stupid. They also have ring cams and a security camera. Nothing was on the ring cams. No one was in their house. There was no movement in their house. So instead, what they did was they bent up a screen from their skylight or something, and they said that someone came in through the skylight. So that's why they weren't on the ring cams. Okay, well,
I hate those parachuting robbers.
But don't you even watch like CSI or anything, or Law and Order even? I mean, if someone came in through the screen light and stepped onto the toilet, there would be some kind of footprint or debris on the toilet. And the cops were like, that was a clean toilet. No one came in there. And when the cops came in to test it, they've got debris all over the toilet. So, I mean, just little things like that I would think that if you're going to do something for around $500,000, if you're going to commit that kind of fraud, that you would make some kind of an effort, well, like put a Roomba with a wig on and have it move around the house. Like
a Roomba with a wig.
Like do something to make the motion detectors go off.
Stop talking about Shane Simpson. But the thing is, also, like, I did not know about this skylight thing. But what's also hilarious about it is so a robber somehow descends on the house. Maybe a trebuchet flung him onto the roof from the woods. And he goes in through the skylight. He gathers all these items. And now this, like, the Hamburglar with his sack on his back of goods now has to somehow ascend back up through the skylight and get out. Because, like, the motion didn't detect anyone coming in or coming out, unless that person
got all that stuff,
did like a full-on parasite and went on and just barricaded themselves into the basement. Like, what? This is so lazy. I have to say, this does not bode well for cannabis company owners, because the only way I can imagine they hatch this plan, these two very smart people, is if they were high as fuck. I'm sorry. Like, this is a high-ass plan. And they probably did it, and then they're like, fuck, we just committed insurance fraud. Gotta commit to the bit now.
Yeah, I guess. So that was the most shocking part to me. It was just the lack of art in the
finesse
pull-off. Like, where is the art here, people? Come on. So because there was such a lack of art, I say those are not career criminals, and they should get off. They should get like a week. and then they should get an apology from America for making all these laws that predatory lenders can do this and put you in that kind of debt. That's what I say.
That's what Wendy should really do. She should like take that like Luigi Mangione like populist ethos and be like, I'm taking it to the insurance companies that are destroying our lives. That's like an angle she could try to do. She probably won't succeed. But when
student debt lenders, that is they are predatory.
That is a big deal.
Yeah.
I do. When you say that they're not career criminals, is the implication that someone like Joe Giudice, if you let him off the hook, he's just going to go back to like shady ass ways where these
Joe
guys...
Giudice is a career criminal. Yes,
he's a career.
That guy is just gonna. That guy is gonna do something shady. Right. No matter what.
You keep him out of the general population for as long as possible. But like Wendy and Eddie, they are bumbling academics who did not do this properly.
Wendy's just a girl who wanted all these degrees, then didn't want to do any of those jobs. I mean, really, with all of those degrees, she was like, I don't want a job that has to do with any of these degrees. I want to be an influencer and a YouTuber and sell candles. And I think that that's the American dream, and we should support that. They were just trying to get out of a little debt. Come on.
I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy asking him to commit insurance fraud for me by denting the skylight.
The screen of the skylight.
The screen of the skylight.
Like, oh my God, did you dent the screen of the skylight? Okay, we're safe. We're safe. Nailed it. But then there are other things, like they were supposed to speak at a like criminal justice type event where it was about, laws that affect cannabis sale. I mean, something like that, you know. And then there was another thing posted where the day of the robbery. Let me look at this. I found it on Reddit. This is from Bravo Real Housewives on Reddit. It says Wendy used Bonnie and Clyde by Jay-Z for her Instagram post the same day that she called the police. Her and Eddie are dressed up for something. Quoting Bonnie and Clyde. I mean, there's just so many things like that are, I mean, you put your hand on your face, you know, you put your hand on your face and you just shake your head.
Wow.
But then we move into episodes like today, and look, there are no clues, right? Because this was kind of a one time that we know of type deal where they just did something stupid. But so I'm not really looking for clues, but it is awkward watching the show because like today she has a whole scene with Stacy. I almost called her Breathy. That's not nice. I'm not going to do that. The show is not going to make me bully Stacy over her breath. But anyway, she had that whole scene where she's like, is she lying? Is she lying? Is she lying? She's always lying. I'm trying to trust her, but she's always lying. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that makes it a little more awkward, I guess.
A little cringy. Well, let's get into it. This episode is episode 2 of season 10, and it's called Mint to be Shady. So Potomac is up to these. Oh, by the way, another thing. Sorry, one last thing is that people were posting clips from season 5 after the famous Monique and Candace fight where Wendy was like lecturing Monique. And now people are like, Monique, your time has come. You get to turn the tables right on to Wendy. So that'll be interesting if that happens.
Where she was saying, I hold people accountable. I don't care who you are. I'm the accountability queen. Okay, so here we are at Ashley's second Bloom Ball. Okay, so she's fighting with Stacy. And she's saying, you're a full-grown woman, and you came into this group and misrepresented yourself. And she's like, and you are a messy devil. You're a devil.
But you misrepresented yourself. Sorry, I just burped in my middle of my Ashley line. I got possessed by a demon.
What's wrong with you? You're gonna, and now you're gonna make fun of Stacy's breath all day too.
It was a coffee burp, which probably smelled bad. Stacey goes, you are the devil. She goes, stop lying. So then AJ is there. That's Stacey's friend. He's like, okay, so the way you guys want to be amicable and be good girlfriends is for her to show that she's been divorced, even though, I mean, she's back with him, right? That's what you want. And Tia's like, well, she doesn't even want to feel like she's been lied to. Oh, and by the way, I feel like all this Wendy talk, we did not really address, for me, what was the big headline, which is how much I love Tia. And I just think this is a great casting choice. I love an uppity British housewife. Good job, Potomac.
Yeah, I love her. I love her voice.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So good to be in this group. I don't know what anybody's even saying. I don't understand any of these terms we're using. I'm a princess.
So Ashley is saying, you know, back in January, Stacey was with TJ, and here we are, 3 months have passed, and you've magically gotten back together with your ex-husband. Ashley, you are such a fucking hypocrite. What about all of this Michael Darby crap that we've been dealing with from you for years? You're leaving him. You're not leaving him. You're divorcing him. You haven't filed for divorce. So much, even this latest thing with you dating Beavis and then pretending that you're single to go on Love Hotel to get that check. And then we come back and, oh, you're still dating Beavis. You are such a fucking liar. I can't believe that Ashley of all people. And also to be coming after someone's breath. You've had Michael Darby in your mouth for over a decade. No one has more disgusting shit in their mouth than you. I cannot believe you are coming. And no one has more disgusting shit coming out of their mouth than you. We've heard your singing all over the clips on the internet and the television, man. Leave Stacey
I totally agree.
alone.
Yeah, I totally agree. Also, she's right. She's completely right. So Ashley's like, so your hand's like very blingy. Like, what's going on with the hand? And Stacey's like, yeah, well, my ex-husband and I are trying to work it out, and that's fine. So Ashley is like, ma'am, the math is not mathing. I'm like, that's what I often say about why you're dating these old trolls like Ralph and Michael. The math is not mathing for me. It does not make any sense.
I know. I like that. I wish that every time she said something about Stacey's breath, we just got clips of her making out with Michael and making out with Ralph and all of these gross dudes, So Giselle's like, do I think Stacey is divorced? No. Do I think Stacey wants us to think she filed for divorce and now she's back with her husband? Didn't you just have a whole fake storyline to pretend that you got back with your husband 2 years ago because you had nothing going on in your life, man? Did you or did you not? This cast, they are such hypocrites. Giselle and Ashley are the biggest fucking hypocrites, and I will not believe it. I believe from now to hereforth, I declare that Stacey has minty fresh breath and these people are just lying. I don't believe a thing they're saying.
I believe what they're saying. They just might not be the best messengers for the story. I mean, look, they're basically
let's get back to shooting the messengers. I think that messengers deserve some shit.
I think that they are just like, be original. We are like, I already faked getting back with my husband. You can't come and do that. And Ashley's like, I already faked divorcing. Like, you can't do that. Come with something new, Stacey. So AJ is basically like, okay, like, why do you care?
Stacey's next plot is selling kangaroo meat.
That'd be really strong. No, I hope her next plot is selling little caps that say like, not embellish, but maybe like bellish.
But Robin's not even around to trigger,
It'll still be fun. Maybe she'll sell a candle. So
I hope she paints her living room a really terrible shade of purple, like Giselle.
Yeah, I hope she takes a perfectly cute older house and does like Winchester mystery house things to it. So Ashley is saying, principle is very important to me, and we can be a lot of things, but we can't be liars. Oh, yeah. Okay. When I look at Michael Darby, I say, look at that principled man. Now I see why she fell for him, a very principled Gollum. To go after that ring requires a lot of principle.
Sorry, say it again. Sorry, I thought you were...
To go after that ring requires a lot of principle. I mean, you don't just like go to Mordor without principles. Okay?
And it wasn't too long ago that Ashley was lying for Gollum in his sexual assault case against the cameraman. So...
yeah.
Shut up. So then Kierna is like, well, when it comes to me, I meet you with vulnerability. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, maybe she's talking to Wendy. And she's like, Wendy may be socially awkward when I see her in public, or I'm missing something here. And Wendy is just so bored already with Kierna and her tri-fight. She's just like, okay, so just to show you how we have different ways in which we friend, you're saying if I'm on stage, I should wave. And then you say for the NAACP, I didn't know if I was coming. Well, you know what? I didn't because my kids were sick. And I actually told them that. I said, maybe I can speak at your event and maybe I can't. What kind of event is this that they don't just replace somebody if they can't speak? They're just like, hey, we're having an event. Speak if you can. Speak if you can.
I do not believe for 1 second Wendy is going to skip an NAACP event for like her kids being under the weather. This is not like going to the opening of like Mia's joint chiropractic. NAACP is a major influential organization. Wendy is there with bells on. She's getting it. Her sister's coming in. Her mom's coming in. Someone's taking care of those kids. Wendy is not missing.
Yeah, Wendy
NAACP.
lives for that. Yeah, Wendy lives for that type of stuff. I think she probably said that to Kierna, like, well, I don't know if I'm going. Maybe I'm going. Maybe I'm not. Because she knew that Kierna was going to be like, oh, my God, we should go together. Why don't we go together in the same car and then we'll enter together and all this. And Wendy's like, you're not taking my red carpet moment and my limo. Sorry.
Wendy's like, I don't think Wendy gets down with Kierna. I think Wendy probably assumed, like many people, that Kierna was like a one and done housewife. And was like, I don't want to like I don't really like you like that. Like we're friends on the show. It was cute, but like, no, I think I want to wait for someone better to hang out with.
I'm not sharing my spotlight at this event.
Yeah. And now she's like, really? Oh, this is going to be my lot in life this season. I'm going to be stuck feuding with Kierna. They gave me a JV fight. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
She's so annoyed.
And even Angel.
She's like, I better commit some insurance fraud to get something more exciting going on here.
And even Angel, who was brought on by Kira, and I was like, yeah, maybe there was just some miscommunication. She's like, no, I'm being gaslighted. And, she's acting all of a sudden like this is in my head. And Wendy's just like, where did Stacey go? Can we just talk about breath? I would really prefer can we just talk about Cementos?
you're so above the things that I'm saying, Wendy. And Wendy's like, I don't care. So Ashley sits down and she asks if they've made any progress. And Karen was like, well, we made progress, but it's the same thing. Wendy apologized. I just feel like it's just a bit dismissive in the moment. And it's like, yeah, because first of all, Wendy's wearing an enormous dress and she probably wants to be walking around and showing it off. And she's stuck having an argument with you when you came in and interrupted her and then said that she was rude for not acknowledging you when you interrupted her. And now you're like hashing out the fact that like she didn't wave to you from stage while she was speaking, which is really one of the most ludicrous requests that we've ever heard on these shows. So yeah, I think that Wendy does feel a bit like above right now.
Yeah, so the girls all start to gather around, and Wendy's like, okay, look, Angel, welcome. Tia, welcome. Listen, I just wear a big whoop, and I want all of us to flow. And Ashley's like, yeah, well, Stacy's lying. And didn't you tell me that Stacy told you that she has a charade and she doesn't want to drop the charade? And Karen is like, yeah, she did tell me that in Lake Norman. That's what she said. So now she's coming for Stacy, Karen. So Stacy's like, what did I say to you? She goes, yeah, in Lake Norman, you were talking to TJ in the room, and I said, Stacy, are you ever going to show the girls exactly who you were like and like kind of break character? And you said, oh, absolutely not.
Which I have to imagine if that did happen, Stacy was like, oh, no, like meaning not like, oh, absolutely not. I've got a cover up is like a joke. Like these bitches, I'm being careful around them. Right. Which I think is like a pretty okay thing to joke about or say, or even say it seriously. Like I'm going to be careful. I don't think she was saying I have a secret self and I'm going to keep it hidden and no one's going to know about it. But I'm telling you that I have it.
Like she's munching on the arm of a baby. She's like, no, I'm not going to bring that on stage. You know what? I'm going to do what I want off camera. On camera, I'll be somewhat different. Like eating babies and, setting small towns afire. Like what is she like off camera that's so completely different? And Kierna, aren't you the one who just got a condo to film in so you didn't have to show your boyfriend, you fakey, and trying to fake a breakup because you want everyone to think you broke up so he doesn't have to come on camera. So you're not lying for the cameras. This is what's making me crazy. Every single person that's coming for her is a total hypocrite.
But that's always what Potomac has been. You have to actually kind of embrace that because that's what's so funny about this show. They're always hypocrites. Karen Huger, I mean, she started this tone 10 years ago of like, I'm the grand dame, and she's like not the grand dame of anything. She's all about etiquette, and she's like,
excuse me, she brought Wi-Fi to Surrey County, so I think you need to get some goddamn respect in your tone.
She's the queen of the dubious claim. Like, that's what this show is all about. Hypocritical people who, rather than looking inward, just like attack others because they are all it's like crabs in a bucket, which is geographically appropriate.
Now, I've been sticking up for Stacy, but, here's where Stacy goes wrong. Stacy's always coming in here like, well, she never answers the question. Never. No. Whenever somebody brings something up, she never just answers it. She says things like, well, every time we have an interaction with each other, you seem to come from a place of negativity and aggression. She's like, oh, Stacy, just stop it. She's like, well, you always want to fight. She goes, oh, really? If I want to fight, I know how to fight, Stacy. So don't do that. Oh, really? Last time you fought, you cried about a scar and were suing somebody you were suing a Muppet for 2 years. So don't act like you're some big toughie who's always wanting to fight.
Well, last time it's just funny that she does reference it. Like, yeah, remember I held my own in that fight. Whereas last season, as you alluded to, like when the fighting was brought up, she started to cry about how traumatic it was. And like, yeah, both things can be true. But it is funny how this season her vibe is more like, oh, I'm standing in it now. So Stacey's like, oh, I know you can fight. I know you can. I've seen it. Kara's like, don't do that. You don't do that. You know that. Don't do that. And then Angel's like, well, she's not a negative person at all. Okay, she's not. And Tia's like,
well, she doesn't strike me as negative at all. Just stupid and American, as most of you are. She doesn't strike me as negative, maybe financially, but bank account wise.
She just seems like she carries the trauma of having to have worn a polo shirt at one point for a boyfriend's company. I just get that vibe about her.
I get polyester.
So Stacey says She's like, well, I don't understand why this group of women has suddenly turned against me. Quite frankly, I am being unjustly beat down. And this is why I love Stacey. Like, I just love how she just has this, why me? What could I have possibly done? It's like, you lied on the reunion. I say this as a Stacey fan, but you lied.
About what?
You blatantly lied.
About
About
what?
everything. About like TJ. I mean, she was clearly paying TJ. She really was.
You think she paid TJ to do this show? You think she had like a contract and she paid TJ to do this show?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. It's not about, I'm sorry. I actually kind of like just blurted out. I meant more like it was fake. That relationship was fake for TV. I don't think there was a contract and all that. I think I think they're both liars. I think TJ is making this, but I'm saying, I don't know why I said that she paid. I meant more like it was blatantly a fake relationship for TV. And I think that now, like, I don't think she got divorced from her husband. And I think that they are like, I don't know. I do think that she's full of bullshit. Like, everything she says is very slippery in a way that I love, by the way. I love it. Like, this is my favorite type of housewife.
Yeah, I don't think she's done anything to the other women, really. I think all that stuff is kind of innocent, especially when they're all faking stuff. Ashley, Giselle, they've all fake stuff. So I don't know. She hasn't done anything mean to the women. I think she's been fine to all the women and they're just coming for her. I don't think it's cool to come for her. I'll say,
Who do you think they should come for right now? You could say that about any of them that
they should just have a natural, like, wait till something's natural. I mean, don't come back being like, oh, I'm going to get the girl for faking a relationship when you've been faking shit for years, Giselle and Ashley.
I still live in the trauma of season 8, and I'm okay with them coming from Stacey because I have, I will never forget that awful season that like nearly tanked Potomac. Like, that actually tainted Potomac for a moment. Like, Potomac was considered an elite housewives up there with Salt Lake City and Miami. And that tainted it, brought it down. But I think Potomac is pretty much like back up there, but it's still a little tainted.
Yeah, but it started getting better when she came on in season 9, right?
Yeah.
So.
But I'm saying, like, I don't want to see them sitting around because I'm afraid that they might not be able to pull it off. I don't know if they could pull off the sitting around vibe on this show.
I guess I just wish there was stuff going on where they didn't have to make up stupid, insipid things to come after each other for. But I guess, maybe I need a different show. So,
like,
or a different
Bravo.
different genre, different network.
You want to watch like PBS or
yeah, basically I'm Team Stacey. I don't think she did anything. I don't mind when they come for somebody who did something wrong, but I don't think she's done anything. So I say leave her alone. So Giselle's like, well, I want to talk to Cookie. Yeah. So we go talk to Cookie. She of the best nails on Bravo. I love Cookie's nails. So she goes to talk to Cookie, and they're talking about Karen, and they're going to get together to do something for Karen for her birthday. And then back on the couch, Wendy is saying, okay, well, Kiona still can't start a fight to save a life. So Tia, tell me about you. And she's like, okay. Well, I'm royalty. My grandfather was a prince in Nigeria. And Karen is like, oh my God, Wendy's Nigerian. Oh, are you a Nigerian as well? Oh, hello. Always nice to meet a peasant. You've paid your taxes, eh?
So they do a high five, and then Stacey goes, okay, well, I know you guys don't want to hear this, but I'm Nigerian too. Just look at Stacey like, okay, Stacey. She's like, I was so excited. Then she tells us, I was so excited when my mom told me about my Nigerian heritage and Wendy's Nigerian, and now I find out that Tia's Nigerian as well. I think I may have found my sisters. They're like, Wendy just goes, child, no comment.
That has historically not worked out all that well on this show. NECA versus Wendy. I don't know that I'd be trying to make an inroad with that one. So Ashley's like, hold on.
By the way, Wendy is nice to Tia because Tia
is royalty.
Is royalty and clearly has no interest whatsoever in befriending Wendy. It's like when the people are like trying to get in with Wendy because they like know her from something. She's like, I don't know you. Like Angel and of course NECA. But Tia's like, yes, I'm Nigerian and I'm from a higher station in life. So lovely to see you.
It's and Wendy's so like, amazing that I can be so much better than you in 2 countries.
Were you raised with Rolls Royces also? No? Oh, that's terrible. When we have insurance claims, they're real.
Okay, everybody. Sorry to interrupt you, but there's a special performance. It's an Ashley party, so there will be some vagina flapping. Let's bring out a stripper to this extremely classy party. I'm sorry, a burlesque performer. Well, actually, I don't know if this is burlesque because she kind of acts like she's going to do burlesque, but then she does like drag queen stripper slaps on the floor, like with her poo-poo, slap.
It was twirlesque. I didn't really know what this was. It didn't seem to match the party at all. And I just thought it was funny that they're in this like suburban event space with a staircase, and this like burlesque person comes out and like does a striptease, takes off almost all their clothes, and everyone's like, woo! And it like it doesn't have anything to do with the bloom, a first bloom, a second bloom, or any bloom. And it's just there. It's just a person taking off their clothes.
And everyone's grossed out except, of course, Ashley, who's like, woo! And everybody's like, disgusting. Ah. And Stacey's like, what happened to her clothes?
Is she Nigerian too? Another sister.
So she's dancing around, and Wendy's like, oh, I see puss. So none of them really approve of this. But whatever. Karen is like, wow, she's definitely in bloom. So now let's go to the gym with Angel. Angel's trying to decide whether or not she should get BBLs because now that she's back on the East Coast, she sees BBLs galore. And her trainer's like, no.
Yeah. It's sort of funny to think of like the holistic lady who's going to have sound baths, but she's also going to get a BBL. It's funny to think about, but it's not inconceivable. We've seen that in Los Angeles. It's just a very funny thing. It's like the natural and the unnatural come together in one beautiful yin yang twin. So then Kierna is at her place, and she's leading a meeting, and she's gonna be doing a billboard, which is exciting. And then Wendy's talking to her. This dog, I have to say it, this dog was really a real ham. Okay. We're having a really strong week of like big personality dogs because the dog psychic on Orange County really was an amazing scene. Like I keep on looking at the picture of Cruz sitting on that sofa, staring at the dog psychic, just like waiting to be read. Like that's like one of my favorite images I've seen in a while. And so now we have this dog, this dog was basically, I have to imagine, Ronnie, it was you and me as like kids when like there's a dinner party, right? When there's a dinner party and like you slink out and like you do like a performance for the adults. And that's what this dog was doing when Wendy came down the stairs.
And you're behaving and I'm biting your face and running in circles around you. Yeah, it makes sense.
This dog was like rolling around. It was definitely trying to get some screen time, and it succeeded.
Yeah. And Zoe, well, no, that's Zen Wen the third. And she's a handful. She said she's completely destroyed Zoe's life. It just cuts to the dog, like biting Zoe's face, trying to play. And Zoe's like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. So then we get clips of the dog poop party where the dogs were pooping every place. And guess who's here? It's Stacy. And Wendy's like, I wore a wampa just for you. She goes, oh, so many memories of you saying, not a romper. That was so fun.
Literally no memories of that. And Stacy says, despite what happened at the reunion, I actually really like Wendy because the producer said I should. So we see that they were like, like when Wendy was the one who broke the news about TJ and how Stacy was like, no, like you're a liar. So they had some friction then, but everything's okay now. And she says, I do care about Wendy and I want to make sure I'm honest and upfront with her. At least there's one level-headed person in this group. And she's my sister.
So they go sit on the back porch and neither one of them knows how to open a bottle of champagne, which is...
Well, it's not only that. It's like Stacey's saying, normally I know how to open it, but it doesn't have all this foil on it. So I'm just going to put it down. I'm like, I'm going to say something wild here. It's a little out of the box. I'm going to do a hot take. I know people are like, man, always says like, he's always so nice. I'm going to say something wild. Take the foil off and then see if you can pop the cork and see if that makes a difference. Because I don't know. I kind of think that's gonna be like the game changer, is taking the foil off, right?
Yeah. This was weird. And Wendy's like, I don't know how to do it with Eddie. Eddie does that. Okay. when did we get to the point where we think it's like fun? It's like a funny personality quirk to not know how to open a fucking bottle. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So she's like, we are women in 2025. We can't do this. We can't do this. Let's just drink water.
Yeah.
So they have some water. Wendy clearly still does not like her. She's just looking at her like, why are you on my tiny deck? Why?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to talk to you about that. Ashley invited me to go shopping, and within a minute of arriving, she was screaming at me, telling me that she's seen receipts.
She was
And
holding
we see
a baseball bat, threatening to beat me. She held a box cutter to my throat. It's like, I don't know that this is really an accurate description of what went down, Stacey. She was screaming at me. She just wouldn't stop screaming. And then it cuts to Ashley being like,
I was at the Easter luncheon, and there was
not screaming.
And Wendy's like, Wendy asks, are there receipts? And Stacey goes, I mean, I don't even know what to say to that because I can't defend myself against things that I don't even know what they're talking about. And it's very revealing of who she is, which is, I love this dodge that Stacey keeps on doing because she's not saying like, yes, there are receipts or no, there are receipts. Like, basically Wendy's like, can you pull up documentation that you got divorced? And Stacey's acting like, you can't pull up documentation about like something that makes no sense. It's like,
no, she's saying because she's saying that Ashley said at the store that she saw legal documents proving that TJ is a plaintiff against her. And she's saying she has receipts. And Wendy says, but are there receipts? And she's like, but I can't defend myself if I don't even know what you're talking about. Meaning like, I don't know what receipts she means. If she doesn't show me the receipts, I can't say whether or not there's receipts.
Which is still a dodge.
It is still a Stacey dodge. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, she just never answers a question. Like, are there receipts? How do I know if there's receipts if I don't know what you're talking about?
You have to tell me what store it's from first. So then there's like the wind chimes make noise. And she goes, you see that? That was the spirit. You see the spirit? Oh, a lot has happened since then. She gets really freaked out by the wind chime.
It's a very callback to Mia being like, is that your mama? Remember when they saw the crow in Austin?
That's right.
So we see the wedding ring that Stacey's wearing. And Wendy's like, wait a minute, are you engaged? And she's like, I'm back with my husband. And Wendy's just like, oh, Jesus. She's just giving her this look like, oh, hell no. She looks away like, I can't even look at this. So Wendy's like, yeah, if she's going to be anything, be serious. Like, Stacey, what is this? I have so many questions, but we're working on a relationship, so I'm not going to say too much. I mean, but what is this? And she's like, what? What's wrong? She goes, look, I'm for team marriage, but this is a complete 180. I mean, it seems like conveniently, now that the girls are on to you, now we're getting back together.
We're not getting married next week. We're trying to work this out. There are a lot of things that are being said about me that are lies. Giselle said that I had something called Happy Stacey. And we see reunion where Giselle brought that out. And she says, I have a cannabis line that is coming out. And the talks to be in this line, they did not start until March of this year. And it's called Very Enthused Stacey. She says, oh, so Giselle was right? No, because I didn't have a cannabis line when we did the reunion. That was one of many meetings regarding brand partnerships that I had. There was one for a 3.5 wick candle. There was one for really just that, just the 3.5 wick candle. And, getting in this business had nothing to do with you or Eddie. Although I did hire someone named Smetty to be my spokesperson, but that's totally unrelated.
Someone approached me and wanted to have a cannabis line called Eddie is Happy with Stacey. And so what are you going to do? And she's like, well, wait, you went into business before you came into the group. And so Wendy says a few months before the reunion, Eddie and her were told that Stacey was going around the cannabis community saying that she wanted to start a cannabis line like Happy Eddie. And so then Giselle sees somebody at the Bloom party. We see a flashback, and Giselle's like, hi. And Terrence says, you remember me? I'm the guy Stacey approached. People on Potomac are so messy. These extras will just show up anywhere and be like, hi, I'm the messy extra. Want a scene?
Yeah, and Giselle's like, "Oh, you are the one that said to her, why would I want to partner with you? Who are you?" He's like, "Yeah." I will say this. I don't think it's like a crime against humanity to be like, "Ooh, I would love to get into cannabis. I like the way Eddie's doing it. Like the Happy Eddie, that's great. Like I would love to do something like that." I don't think that's wrong to be inspired by other people's businesses. If someone said, "Oh, I want to start a podcast. Like I want like to do something like watch what Crappens," I'd be like, "Okay, cool." I wouldn't be like, "Well, as far as I can tell, we were doing it first. So you're like a bit of a copycat." Like, no, like, people are allowed to be inspired by other people's businesses and things that they do. It's allowed. It's okay.
Yeah, but Stacey should have just said at the reunion when she said you were going to have a Happy Eddie, she should say, "Well, someone approached me about doing a cannabis line, and I don't know, I'm talking to him about it," instead of being like, "Oh, what? That is absolutely not true today, but it will be tomorrow when I sign the contract."
100% she should have. She should have.
And why does it keep happening to
that.
Wendy? I mean, Wendy doesn't have a string of successful businesses to copy. Like, I understand why it happens on something like New York with Bethany. Remember when Bethany had her very successful alcohol line that she sold for zillions of dollars, and then Sonia wanted one that was kind of like that, and that became a big deal on that. But at least you're stealing something that's already successful. I mean, Karen was trying to steal the candles. That wasn't some successful thing. And now she's got Stacey trying to steal her weed. Why is everybody trying to steal ideas from Wendy?
Because Wendy's ideas are inherently unoriginal. And so it's like being like, why is everyone stealing all the clip art that Wendy's using? It's like, because it's clip art. Everyone has access to the old timey finger pointing. It's like, oh, you're going into candles or cannabis. Like, these are things that people are like, you know what I should do? I should go into candles or cannabis. It's like not crazy. It's, when you watch like Shark Tank, there's so many like, this is a new dog food that's absolutely natural. It's like, yeah, like a lot of people came up with that idea and continue to come up with it. It's like kind of cannabis I think is harder, but I think like coming up with a candle is like, I
don't know that cannabis is harder. I mean, Happy Eddie's a collab. It's not like they have their own weed farm and they're,
well,
they're
I just feel like
with a successful weed company and slapping their name on it. Like, most reality
Tamara's
TV
able to do it for crying out loud. But like,
Yeah.
I also think that I just don't know in terms of like, is cannabis like highly regulated, highly priced and highly regulated in a way that like maybe candle making is not. Like, it might be a little easier to slap your name onto some sort of candle collab. I don't know. But I just think the reason why people are quote unquote stealing from Wendy is that she doesn't have any high concept ideas. They're just basic things that just sort of float through that you might see on Shark Tank or something like that. And
oh my God, what if we turn on TV and next time we watch CNN, Stacey's one of the commentators?
Now that's
That would be
that's
good.
something.
That would be good. Making political commentary. That would be pretty good. I'm just here to talk about the Middle East. Why is everybody so mean to each other?
I don't understand how it has to be this way. So Wendy,
Netanyahu just said I had bad breath. That's not very nice.
wow, it's becoming an international issue, huh? So Wendy is saying, "I just want to say I wish you nothing but success." And she's like, "Well, I have to go to the bathroom." Well, what do you go in the bathroom for? Are you pregnant? Which is like such a leap that Wendy just inserting that in there out of nowhere. Like, I think people are allowed to go to the bathroom without an insinuation that they're pregnant.
Yeah, but the whole thing about
"Pregnant?"
Stacey is that she's got this breath that is probably from starvation. Let's face it. It's probably from like fasting or just eating meat or something, like a meat only diet or something. We've all had those moments. So Wendy's probably like, "You gonna go shit your brains out from Ozempic?" I think that's why Wendy is like, "Why are you going to the bathroom now?" I think she's everything Stacey does is looked at as sketchy by these women. And I think she's like, "Oh, really? So now you're going to go have water poop? Okay. Go enjoy your
I have
water
to use the
poop."
facilities. Now you're starting rumors. Well, I know she ain't bringing TJ around for her just to check, to get back with a man. Oh my God. So now we go to Tia's house. We have our first Tia home scene. and her daughters are arguing about how to make a charcuterie board. So like already off to a great start. Like we've got some rich kids who this is like their concern. It's not like past the Nintendo controller. It's like, no, the prosciutto goes on the left.
This is how to raise your children right here.
This is how you do
This is how to do it. They cannot leave this house until they understand how to make a charcuterie board. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, you did a very good job. Thank you, guys. This is better than what I would do. Just kidding. Princess knows how to make a charcuterie board. Hopefully you washed your hands.
So Giselle comes over and meets the kids. And she's like, "Oh, you're twins. I know. You know, I have some twins." And both of them were like, "We don't care." So Tia's like,
I've got loads of kids. So Sienna's the oldest. Alexis is my gangster. Then Nathaniel and Amorous are the twins. I met Giselle socially. I handed her my coat. Isn't that funny?
And she said, ooh, don't put that on my arms. They're tired from dealing with twins. I said, oh, you understand about twins? Well, I'm sorry about your mattress. She goes, no, I actually gave birth to them. I said, oh, well, I guess you survived that. We can sort of be friends.
So she introduces her to Rob, and Rob's kind of hot, no?
Yeah, Rob is
pretty
hot.
cute.
By
Yeah,
the way,
he's pretty cute.
two very hot new husbands on this show right now. Like, you gotta really credit these guys.
Yeah,
being
so
hot.
the kids are in her, and I like that Tia's like,
Okay, kids, you shot with me, but I think we're going to have some charcuterie. I know you're in a hurry to leave, kids, aren't you?
and Giselle's like, "Where are you going?" She's like,
To the mall.
She goes, "Oh, really? What are we doing? We're Ubering to the mall." And she's like,
No, their father's driving them. She has a chauffeur. Ooh.
Literally, he's the chauffeur. I married him just so I could get a discount on the rides, but literally just a chauffeur. Rob and I, we've been married for 17 years. He grew up in Southside Chicago, wherever that is, and I grew up with the cook. We had a steward, he had a driver. We had a driver, and even now, years on, we've been a good balance for each other. I'm incredibly wealthy, and he does things for me, so my lifestyle hasn't changed, and he just works a little bit harder.
So she says that he is from Southside Chicago, and she's rich. And she's like,
And we somehow be a good balance for each other. I have bags, and he balances them on his wrist.
So she says her dog thinks he's human, and the kid is like, "Yeah, my mom just got that dog because she was on sale."
She's like, what? And she's like, I mean, I don't really even like her that much, but she's okay. No one likes this discount dog that's there. So Tia walks in like,
Oh, have you found the cheap dog?
like, well, Tia, you've outdone yourself.
Have I? That was a rhetorical question. Of course I have. I'm a princess.
So she says her name is Tinukab, which is her Yoruba name.
Do you want to know what it means? It means pampered from my mother's womb.
Pampered from your mother's womb. I see.
I was born in Lagos, Nigeria. I was raised in England. The Nigerian culture and the English culture are very similar in that they're both much more sophisticated than the Americans. England I loved because of family. Nigeria is the best place to go to party. I just kind of do the circuit, so I've got this happy balance at the moment. Then every now and then I come to America and tell Rob to drive me somewhere. And when I feel fulfilled from that, I go back to England. It's wonderful.
So she's like,
I don't do errands. I'm just used to having a driver, although I'm not about to be somebody's driver. Like, I'm not going to get haggard because I have children. God. I'm not going to get driving wrinkles.
Driving wrinkles. So your husband's the nanny?
Yes, and I'm saying that without sarcasm.
So she's
Don't
like,
tell him I told you that because I don't want him to ask for a raise in his allowance. Growing up, I was handed everything. Oh, could you hand me that cheese, dear? See? And it's important to show my children that I can work and make a living. I just choose not to, which is why I'm a real estate advisor. I walk in front of homes and I say things like, I love the curb appeal. Let's show a clip of me doing just that, shall we?
the clip comes on, and she's like,
I love the curb appeal.
You know, us English like to sit up high now, so I love how this is a high house. But that being said, no one in the UK would ever live in a trash dump like this Potomac domicile. Okay, anyway, enough work for me for today. Where's Rob with the car?
So Tia says that she loves being a mom.
She's like, I mean, I love look at me loving being a mom. Okay, daughter, come down the staircase. What's wrong with your face? Smile. It wasn't like that when I gave birth to you. Now get back to your charcuterie arranging lessons.
I love to spend time with my children. I also like to spend time without my children.
So Giselle asks what her husband does, and he's in sales and acquisitions for a massive aeronautical company. And Giselle's like, that's impressive. He's a nerd.
Yes, he's a nerd, actually. A nerd with a commercial driving license. You never know when you're going to need it.
Sales and acquisitions for a major company. I'm looking forward to that embezzlement storyline in about 2.5 to 3 years. So buckling up.
Aeronautical embezzlement.
Yep.
So Giselle loves nerds, and they're going to introduce him to Wendy's husband, also a huge nerd, apparently. How is her husband a nerd? What did Wendy's husband's a lawyer, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's smart. So therefore that counts as being a nerd in Giselle's eyes. I feel like being in sales and acquisitions for an aeronautical company does not make you a nerd. I think it's like designing the aeronautical stuff. If you're an engineer, that makes you a nerd, but you're basically just like a corporate person selling things. Like Giselle just heard aeronautical and was like, ooh, a nerd. Like, no.
He goes to space.
That's astronaut.
What does Earth look like from the moon? You asked him.
So Giselle says, we'll introduce him to Wendy's husband. And Tia says,
This is not the paid-for husband. This is the real husband.
what does that mean?
Then I think it's a reference to Stacy and TJ.
I see. Okay, so then we go to Ashley's and we meet Jessica, Ashley's sister, who is basically her mother, which is crazy. She looks exactly like Sheila. I thought it was Sheila. I was like, wow, did Sheila talk Ashley into getting her a facelift? Because it looks just like Sheila.
That's what I thought too. I think we met her a few years ago at some point. I think they went shopping for like her prom or whatever. But no, she's 17, so I don't know. But yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, she looks exactly like Sheila. And this is because Ashley is going to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. So, I mean, things are already chaotic enough in this country. And now we have Ashley go. I mean, look, Lala made it to the same dinner. So, I mean, as goes Lala, so goes Ashley, I suppose.
I love that with everything, with all of the shit happening in the country, that this is the biggest question of our taste level. I was like, wow, have we really fallen this far? This is our taste level now in this country? Come on.
I know that the White House Correspondents' Dinner is like, it's basically a big roast and it's silly and, it's fun and it's flashy. But like, who is the reporter that was like, I'm going to bring Ashley Darby to this? Like, of all the celebrities you could have brought, of all the people. I mean,
really got to fill that room. Jeez.
So she's like, well, I mean, it's not a partisan issue for me. It's just like celebrating the White House. So also I got invited. So when else am I going to get invited? I'm going. Get off my ass.
I don't even think that is the Correspondents' Dinner about celebrating the White House. I don't think it is, but she's going. She got invited to a big party and she's in her big old gown. She's in a very nice gown. And, she's talking with her sister about it and everything. And she's talking about how her sister is her half sister and everything. And so she's just saying that she is reestablishing a close bond with her, and her sister is going to be going to the University of Maryland, and it's like very exciting. But Josh is going to come by. Josh, as you mentioned before, Josh Beavis is going to be Ashley's date to this. I'm just going to emphasize this black tie gala, high profile black tie gala that makes headlines every year. And Josh is going to, first of all, she's choosing Josh of all people to go with her. And just emphasizing again, black tie gala, black tie. Black tie. I'm setting it up because, okay, fine. I'll just say it. He shows up in a t-shirt and sneakers with a blazer on. Sir,
Well.
you do no. What are you doing? This is the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and you're not famous enough to pull off like the cool casual look at something like this. I was like, this guy, get rid of him. Done. No more.
It's the Trump White House. They're lucky he wasn't wearing flip-flops.
Yeah,
That's what I say.
that's
He could have come
true.
in with flip-flops and a fucking duck whistle, and they would have sat him, you know? So she's like,
Well, we had a pause because I was forthcoming that I had to do Love Hotel, and he wasn't really happy with that conversation. But then we started talking again because when I was home, I hit him with the text and it said, "Hey, big head." And then we've been kind of kicking it since then.
and now you're calling people big head? Oh my God, the hypocrisy never ends.
Yeah, seriously. I did like that when she said that she took a break for Love Hotel. They do this really quick shot of her and Ralph kissing, and you just hear,
Yeah. By the way, if you haven't watched Love Hotel, people, do your duty and watch Love Hotel. Trust
one
me.
of the best shows of the year.
It's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. So she comes down. They look crazy, and then they go. We see them in the car, and she's talking about how she's never dated a guy younger than her. Cut to Ralph. And she would like him to have a little more life on him, but hey, you do what you can, right? And so he makes her happy, however he can.
And then she's like, maybe next time you could maybe we can try that when you go out, you put some product in your hair, or wear a tuxedo to a black tie event or something like that. Ashley, you should just listen. I think Ashley should. I think she should stop dating the guys, like the creepy old guys, but also let's maybe date the guys who are a little older than Josh, who know better.
Well,
Look at
also
Kwame.
she's telling him she doesn't want product in his hair because he's got product in his hair today, and she's like, "No, I want you without product, my friend."
Oh, I misread that. I thought it was when you go out, you can try not having product in your. Oh, okay. Well, I take that back. Well, I still think that she should date someone else. But I
Yeah,
thought
he
that
made
was
an
that his
effort.
hair
He
was
didn't
a
really
mess.
comb his hair, but he did put some product in it, and so
I would
she's
never have
like-
thought there was product in that hair. That's surprising.
Yeah, it was like darker because he's got the pomade or something in there. So she's like,
That's what you do. You offer suggestions when you're with somebody. Having white sheets. That's a sign of maturity.
he goes, "My sheets are white." She's like,
Oh, have your sheets always been white?
he's like, "Yeah." She goes,
Maybe I just need to get back into your sheets to see that they're white.
"Okay, so wait. I know that I just accused you of being a liar for saying you broke up with Josh when clearly you didn't break up with Josh. But now are you lying about dating Josh in the first place? Because who doesn't know that his sheets are white? What a weird thing to bring up."
And when are white sheets a sign of maturity, by the way?
I don't have white sheets. I actually went into
don't.
a small crisis about it. I was like, wow, am I totally immature for not having white sheets? have beige
I had
sheets.
I had a white sheet phase, and it was the biggest pain in the ass because like the moment you sweat in the middle of the night, it's like there's no denying that it happened. Like you have to wash. It's like it's constantly washing them.
There's no denying. I wasn't sweating. What are you talking about?
It's Shannon Bedore.
Me? It was Archie. Archie sweat at 1 a.m.
So Angel is walking to a restaurant with her husband. This is the entire scene. Arms. He comes in. Those arms are just out there right in front of the camera the entire time. I was like, whoa. So this is their husband and wife meet them as a duo scene as they are sitting at a restaurant talking about things.
They're very rich. He's from the Denver Broncos. And they basically moved here to be on TV, which she says in so many ways. They love their home in Colorado. We see pictures of their home in Colorado. It's stunning. She said it's won all these awards for design and stuff. And we see the pictures, and I can see why. I mean, it is a stunning, stunning home.
This must be torture for them to be back in Potomac. Potomac is like an architectural wasteland as far as what we see on this show. It's just all these generic white or gray interiors with like Z Gallery furniture.
Oh my God, the Colorado place is just a stunner. And they're looking for a place here, but they want it to be at least 5 acres. She needs like a huge house, and there's just not the land here. for her. So she's not really sure about that. So they're deciding what to do about their home. And he eats like a sports guy. She doesn't really eat because she's on TV, and she knows not to, because the other housewives are probably like, do not ever eat on TV. That's rule number one. But he eats like a sports guy. He's like, and then he gets his napkin and he just lifts it over his face and he's like, it's like that is definitely a straight man into sports right there.
Yep. So they are.
And that's basically their scene. I'm kind of bored. I'm not sure about Angel. I have to say, I'm not sure. But then she's already kind of turning against Kierna in this, so there's promise. there's promise, but so far I'm not sure. I am completely 100% sure about Tia, though. 100.
Yeah, 100%
I hope she's on
sure
here
about
for
Tia.
90 years, and I can't wait to watch her clash with Karen.
So speaking of Tia and Kierna, so now we go to Kierna's condo. So we spent a little bit of time there last episode because she was all excited. She has a new condo. We love that she got a new condo. This time, it was sort of funny to me because Giselle comes over and, Kierna's like, ooh, look at my condo and everything. And Giselle's like, wow. And there's like a chef who's there. So Kierna's really flexing, like, look at me, look at my new wealthy lifestyle. So they go out to like the balcony. And I have to say, I was so distracted this entire scene because it didn't matter what angle they were shooting it from. The views were so bad. They were like awful. Like the view behind Kierna was like a brick, some strange brick building. The view behind Giselle was like there was like a highway behind them. It wasn't even a highway. It was one of those like annoying roads that's like not big enough to be a highway, not small enough to be a local road. It's just like a 2-lane annoying street that you never want to live off of. You just see traffic coming through. It was just like the most unscenic balcony, and like the balcony itself was very nice, but I just love Kierna flexing, like, look at me, I'm actually like something, like I'm like really wealthy and I've got like my salon, and just in this like these janky views from every angle of the balcony.
Yeah, so we get some balcony views and they pretend that they're friends, and Giselle's like, so what about Greg? This is the second scene I've had to go to someone's home today, by the way. So go ahead and tell me what you have to do. I've got another home to go to. I'm making the rounds today. And she's like, well, like I'm so really into Greg and, well, he's learning. And then we see clips of Greg being a complete gentleman. Like, I'm a man and you're a woman, so get over it. And then exactly. Giselle is basically approving, I guess. And then they kind of have some snacks. And then they move on to talk about Ashley's event. And Kierna is like, well, there's a party coming up, and we see the invitation, Truths and Tranquility, EA, an afternoon of calm energy, aligned intentions, and gracefully spoken truths.
Will there be a state road in the background of that tranquility scene? Because you said this was your sanctuary, yeah, and all I can see is a truck barreling down at me.
A party for gracefully spoken truths. I'm in. Who isn't? So they talk about how great Angel is and stuff. And then we find out that poor Kierna, had an event which only made it to camera on flashbacks.
Yes,
and so she's talking about how she had a spa event, a little talks, a little caviar. And she started talking to the girls about everything that happened with her and Wendy. And
so then Kierna is like, yeah. And then it's like, okay, what happened? And then right back into it, Kierna's like, so she calls me and so like, are you going to the NAACP awards? And she says, well, I don't know if I'm going yet because we didn't say her kids were sick. And then like we get the awards, and literally the first thing she says to me is, oh my God, did you do your own makeup? I was like, oh my God, Kierna, no, please don't go down this path. This is a losing battle. Don't do this. I was like, we flash back to see Kierna complain about the makeup comment again.
Yeah. So Tia's like, what does that mean? Did you do your own makeup? Like, Ashley's like, girl, you know what that means. I don't really. Is anybody going to explain it?
I've never done my own makeup. Is that something people can actually do for themselves? Is that like making a charcuterie board? I just don't understand these American things.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere, Angel starts defending Wendy. So we see Angel, and she's like, well, did you ask her how her kid was doing, if her kid was sick? And she goes, no.
Well, clearly the child is well enough for you to be here in LA in this party. Like, clearly your child is fine. Is that what you were thinking, lady who probably does her own makeup? How do you even do that?
Angel's like, oh, I mean, we don't know that. We don't know. And Karen's like, Angel, if that's like what you want to do, like, I'm just going to say, okay, but like, don't do that. And Angel's like, well, I'm just saying, all I'm saying is not to judge what she may have had going on with her kids. This was kind of shitty of Angel, though, I will say. Like, I was mentally trying to do a workaround where I was like, Karen, you got to give it a break, okay? But I was like, no, I don't know if I see it any other way. I think this was like shitty. Like, you're her best friend, and like, you're immediately going to be like, but what about if Wendy was going through X, Y, and Z? So,
and she wasn't judging what was going on with her kids. So that was kind of weird. And Kieran is like, yeah, and I was confused. Are you on my side or Wendy's? Aren't you my friend of 20 years? Okay, wait. So Angel was defending Wendy? She goes, yeah, well, she kind of chimed in on the mama bear part. Like, yeah, we had to do a little chin checking on that for 2 seconds at the event. And Giselle's like, not the chin check. The chin check. What the chin check? I had to get you together in a physical way. That's what that means. I didn't know we did that to friends.
Well, I like a little chin check. Because I'm not wasting no time getting you together. Because, like, are you crazy? Like, are you cool? So then now we go over to the Tranquility party. Angel's looking at the setup and she's like overseeing everything. And she tells us at the second Bloom Ball, I felt like there wasn't really an effort to get to know the new girls. And my purpose behind wanting to have this event was I wanted to use it as an opportunity for them to get to know me, to step into my world, while at the same time being able to woo-saw a little bit. So I just want to promote my company on screen, on Bravo, really. That's it.
Did you look up chin check? Because I did. I didn't know what chin check was.
I did not look up
and
chin check.
before they
It was like,
explained
go
it
like
to me,
this.
I was like, what's chin check? So here's the first thing that came up. Chin check, the act of surveilling your mate to see if they, usually a female, have been cheating, literally checking on her chin for the testicles of another man.
Oh. Okay.
I started laughing my ass off because I really thought that's what it was. So of course I had to look at alternate definitions, but I really like that one. Checking her chin for the testicles of another man. Like there would be like a testicle imprint on her chin.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Like he was teabagging in cornstarch and then like left like a powdery residue.
But then one of the other definitions is figurative, meaning a forceful confrontation or reprimand, essentially checking someone who was out of line. So there
That's
you
what
go,
I kind
everybody.
of assumed it was. I assumed it was like when you like jut your head forward, like chin first, be like, huh.
Oh.
That may be, I think that's the spirit of it. So people are setting up. There's going to be a sound bath practitioner and everything. And a giant ant falls on the sound bath lady, and Angel is horrified. That was very exciting. So Wendy shows up
And immediately kills the ant, which is very not Buddhist. She's like, oh my God.
No.
Setting it on fire, stomping on it. She's like, oh God, an ant got on you. And the sound bath lady's like, oh, the ants are already loving on me. See, that's the way to deal with it. So then Angel is, getting set up and stuff. And Wendy comes in and there's a lady holding drinks like teas and no towels. First is towels. So Wendy's like, oh, you have towels? Let me smell them. Oop, no, thank you. No, thank you.
But she's pretending to be nice because I think that Wendy is trying to be nice to the new girls because I think she's going to try to like gain allies this season.
Yeah. So she's too good for the towels,
The spa towels.
Yeah, and then Wendy's like, "Oh my God, you look like," or Angie says, "God damn it, Ronnie." Angel's like, "Wendy, you look like Yoga Barbie." Wow, meet my husband, but this is Bobby. So they meet, whatever, and then she's got lemon balm. And she puts that in Wendy's drink, and Wendy's like, "Wow, what is this hocus pocus?" Listen, I don't know about the spiked tea. I'm gonna try it because I want to be a team player. But if we're gonna keep it very real, the spiked tea is giving me get out.
Mm-hmm. So more people are arriving. A waitress offers Tia a hibiscus tea with lemon and ginger mint and vodka. And Tia's like,
Oh, and vodka. Is that the truth? I was waiting for the ball to drop there. Okay. Oh, it looks like everyone here actually did do their own makeup. I just didn't know this was even possible. What an open world.
Angel asks her if she drinks, and she's like,
Of course I drink. I have 4 children.
One of them doesn't even smile anymore. It's horrifying. So she's like, I never drink. I never smoke. I never listen to loud music. Ha ha ha. That's humor. I think I had a swig of something when I was pregnant with Sienna. I tell you, she already had all her fingers and toes and stuff, so who cares? I was like, what's that going to go wrong? And I was like 6 months pregnant, and I was like, she's fine.
well, all the appendages are there. Okay, we're good to go. Let's get back onto the wine train.
I haven't seen a mother brag about drinking when they're pregnant since my own. Who's like, oh, please. I drank a bottle of wine and smoked a pack of cigarettes a day when I was pregnant with you. And look at you. You're fine. You're fine. Am I? Am I fine? So now they go outside, and Wendy's like, does this sound bad thing ward off evil spirits? Because there's some people who need evil spirits warded off of them. Dun, dun, dun. And now other people come, and Giselle is getting a half hug from Wendy. And she's like, what is this half hug? Come on, is this a church hug?
Yeah, and she's like, whatever. And they're all getting their welcome drinks and everything. And Giselle's like, what is this drink? It's crazy. Angel's nice, but like, we just met, y'all. I don't really like truth and tranquility. I like lies and foolishness. Okay. Giselle's like, I don't want to do woo-woo. Okay, let's do some character assassination, okay?
Yeah. So, Angel, I heard from Kay that there's no loud talking in your home. Is that true? And she goes, yeah, I don't want any negativity in my home. Okay, I'm very rich. Well, sometimes you got to go through the negative to get to the positive. Speaking of that, because I've talked to this one, Kierna, so where are we with Kay and Wendy? Are we good in the hood? Let's fight. Let's fight in this home after I've just said we won't.
Yeah, exactly. And Wendy's like, no, I'm good. By the way, Giselle, she's like, I can't believe you don't speak loudly in her home. Giselle's not allowed. Like, Giselle doesn't yell. So Wendy is like, yeah, we're good. We're all good in the hood. And Karen's like, well, to be honest, like, it's just very passive aggressive with Wendy. And we're just like not getting to resolve it enough. Like, we're like, the next time I see you, it could still be like, okay. But like if she's willing to move on, I'm willing to move on. Cause like Wendy's saying she doesn't have an issue. So, okay. Wendy's like, I don't know, whatever the issue with Kiana has with me, it's like a one-sided issue. Cause like, I'm in peace. She's in pieces. See what I did there? That's like wordplay, because like they're spelled differently, and then one's pluralized. Anyway, the point is we're not the same.
So that was a bummer of a fight. That didn't happen. So Giselle's like, okay, well, are you, Angel and Kierna, okay? And Angel's like, yeah. And Angel's like, well, wait, I'm confused. I think we're fine. She's like, okay, so is this not the time for food, or no one's going to fight? So are we going to eat?
So then they're just sort of like talking about, is Stacy gonna come? What's going on with Stacy? And then Wendy's like, wait a second, Giselle, what'd you say about Angel friendship? I just realized you were trying to start something there. You want to start it? You want to try again from the top? Like,
yeah, something's wrong with our friendship. I mean, if she had a problem, she would tell me, right, Kierna? And Tia's like,
Oh, did you have a problem, dear? Did you? Did you have a problem? I seem to remember you had a problem.
and Wendy's like, wait, you got, Giselle says, she told me you got chin checked. And Wendy goes, you got chin checked? She goes, no, nobody's chin checking anybody. And Kierna's like, cut your shit, Giselle.
She's like, I'm gonna throw food at your ass in a minute. Cut your shit. Giselle's like, so you didn't get chin checked? And Angel's like, no. Well, since Karen's not here, I'll say her phrase. Let me be very clear. I don't do that. Kierna's like, okay. Well, let me be very clear. Friends don't chin check each other, and we're friends. And Giselle's like, but you told me you chin checked her. And she's like, what? Chit chat, chin chat, chat. I don't know what they were saying. Chin check, chin check, chin check, chin check. What is chin check? Okay, chin's the right checks.
Word. Chin check. I don't even know what the language they're speaking.
All I know is it's gibberish, and soon we have to listen to things being spun around in bows and say it's some sort of bath. Disgusting.
And Ashley's like, is it a physical thing? And Angel's like, yeah, I don't think she would ever use that term because it's very aggressive. And two, we all know that that's not what happened. No one's going to chin check Angel Massey, okay? I do the chin checking.
Okay. So Giselle said, but you said chin checka. Ken was like, I did not. And she goes, yes, we both laughed about chin check. I said, no, I said chin check the situation. She's like, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I'm grown enough to say I said it. I'm like, you were grown enough to say you said it after you denied it like 10 times. And Giselle was like, you said it.
So Giselle says, Angel, I don't want you to think I'm a liar. Okay, I have something to tell you about chin check. Chin check? Chin check.
Well, I just wanted to make it clear because Giselle said I said it, so I guess I said it.
And she goes, okay, well, we don't chin check each other, just so we're clear, okay? We chin check other bitches, okay? Let's pinky promise. So they link pinkies, which never ends well on this show.
Maybe Giselle misheard it over the sound of all the semi-trucks barreling down underneath the patio. But that it was definitely on camera. So Stacey enters in and there's like a bowl of mints. And Giselle's like, y'all need to hand this to Stacey when she gets here. Rah.
Did it hit you at Ashley's event? It slapped the hell out of me. Wow, that breath. Wow. So Stacey comes in and Tia's like,
Oh, wait, I wanted to ask if there was something secret about the bowl of mints. Why is there a bowl of mints here?
and Angel's like, it's just so everybody can have fresh breath. And so they all start laughing and start immediately bullying Stacey over her breath. I mean, my goodness. At this point, I would just walk in chewing gum every time I saw these ladies.
Mm-hmm. Ash is like, well, I think Stacey, we were talking about it earlier, and like sometimes your breath can be a little on the hot side. She goes, wow, okay, well, let me get a mint then. Let me start off right then. Okay. She's like, should I be cool with this? Or are they trying to bait me into a fight? Like, what am I supposed to do?
That's why I like Stacey, because she can stay calm under pressure. Like, they're all coming for her and getting after her every time she shows up somewhere, and she just stays calm. She's like, wow, really? A bowl of mints? Well, if today's issue is my breath, then compared to what I've gone through the last few times, I'll take the mint. Thanks for the mints, ladies.
So then they go outside to clear some energies and everything. And Nicole, this lady, she does the sound bath. It's like a classic Real Housewives, breathe in, breathe out, whatever. And Tia's like, ooh,
Is this working? I mean, are we kumbaya-ing? Americans, am I right? This is ridiculous. I'd rather be at Harrods in London.
So now they do this. Of course, Wendy and Giselle are like, this is stupid. They don't want to do it. And then Angel's like, okay, ladies, so I'm a certified mindful outdoor guide. You do get certified for that. It's a whole class where you basically learn to be mindful in the outdoors. So yeah. And when I lead mindful outdoor experiences, at the end we do something called a fire circle. Okay. So let's do a fire circle. Who wants to go first?
oh,
Okay,
is this where
I
we
don't
get to
trust
decide who should
Angel.
be fired from the show? Okay, I will start. I will fire Stacey.
I don't trust a certified mindful outdoor person. That
Yeah,
sounds like
it
a
doesn't-
fraud. No,
Who's doing the certification?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry you failed. You're not mindful enough. for the outdoors.
That's some fraudulent shit right there. So Kierna's like, okay, I'll go first. Thank you, Angel, for being here to remind me of what friendship looks like. And Tia's like, well, thank you for inviting me to this amazing, tiny little home where I see how the other 99% lives. And also, thank you, holistic lady, and your little mixing bowls.
And that was not a Ben and Ronnie embellishment. Embellish. That was truly her saying, thank you, holistic lady.
She goes, my name is Nicole. She goes, yes, Nicole, the holistic lady.
Did you just call her a holistic lady? Yeah.
But is it not holistic? We're supposed to actually give them names now?
Okay, my turn. I just wanted to say that I'm in a place in my life where I just want to start fresh. So I want to ask you all to stand up to do a cleansing breath. Can we all stand up, please? Get in the line. I'm going to breathe in all of your faces.
I know. They're like, okay. Well, first of all, her saying, I want to start fresh is funny. And then, of course, Stacey's big thing that she wants to do is have them all take a giant breath. So Ashley is like, is it a lion's breath? No, it's not a lion's breath. okay, real hard breath. So they're just like, has she put a mint in before this breath work? Please, God, please.
So she does this like, let's all stand up and breathe in positivity and breathe out negativity really hard. Do it in Ashley's face. So they do it. And Stacey goes, it is unbelievable how I'm able to just save the day with my goddess breath.
So the ladies head inside and Ashley looks into a telescope, which is a funny concept. And Stacey's like, Ashley, come here. She's like, I'm nervous. What happened? Who did it? It wasn't me. She's like, why are you nervous? Don't be scared. I took a mint. Okay. Well, and so then Giselle is like, ooh, I'm about to hear this entire conversation. Let's listen in. Nah. Stacey goes, all right, well, come on in. Okay, Ashley, I've been praying about us a lot and you questioning my divorce and other things about my character. This is the notification that we received. Are you ready to see this email? Okay, take a look. The reason that I didn't show you this at your ball is because it wasn't the time or the place and I hadn't come up with a plan yet. And I didn't have a chance to speak to my husband about showing a document that is so sensitive and serious. But here it is, an application for divorce.
This is nothing new. She goes, Giselle's like, I'm divorced. I know what that looks like. And there's a stamp. And Stacey went to an app and made this. This is bullshit. She goes, there's no seal here. But we're divorced and we're getting back together. So Kieran is like, yeah, I'm still interested in TJ and the final payment. Like, why are we talking about this divorce? Who cares about that?
Yeah. So Ashley's like, well, this is one of many things. Okay. This is like this is just, and that was just one. And that's all I needed, as your friend, like wherever we are. So Tia's like, well, is this sufficient? Is there anything else we need to do with this topic? And Giselle's like, no, it's not official, but it's fine. We can move on. I'm bored with it. I'm ending the storyline now.
So now we go to Tally Ho Pizza Restaurant, Karen's favorite restaurant, the place of Tally Ho. And so they go in and they're going to meet up because it's Karen's birthday, guys. So they're going to pour one out for Karen on her
At her favorite
birthday.
restaurant.
I like that she said we're going to pour one out for Karen when she's in jail for a DUI.
Oh God, my heart warmed as soon as they arrived at the Tally Ho. I was like, yes, Karen's watering hole / pancake hole. So Ashley is saying like, Karen always makes jokes that we always ruin her birthday, right? Ha 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 ha. And we see some flashbacks to Karen's ruined birthdays over the years.
Well, I wake up most days and I think about where Karen is. Does she have her poetic justice cornrows in the back of her head?
Yes, huge empathy coming from Giselle.
To think
Like,
she's
what's
there
the
on her
vibe?
birthday, I just feel like some of the girls who love her should get together and just pour one out for Karen. This is one of Karen's favorite places, and I always get her breakfast order. Vodka, and vodka.
I'll have the vodka pancakes with the vodka syrup, please. Hold
Served
the flour.
with a side
and
of
butter.
car keys. Thank you.
So Giselle is saying that Karen, we see a flashback to her and Karen there. So Cookie arrives and she's very breasty today. She's like, oh damn, I get to be in a whole ass scene. I'm not just like at a party in the background. I am ready to show America what I've got. So she comes and Ashley's like, well, nice to see the three of you. I mean, nice to see you, Cookie. Breasts.
And Cookie's like, you can have them if you want them. I think this is what Wendy was trying for. She just didn't make it. Like, okay.
Cookie.
All right, Cookie.
All right.
You're hired. You are hired. Listen, Cookie has been really good friends with Karen Huger, and I'm not mad at her talking to Karen because I know she knows I'm going to be asked about it. And I know that she's talking to Cookie, her husband, and her daughter. Karen's being strategic, and I'm not mad. You have to be strategic when you're in the big house. Poor Karen. God bless her. God knows what's happening to Karen right now. Is she making license plates? I think about it every day.
Do they serve cookies in jail? I wonder. Cookie, by the way, everyone. Cookie was with Karen in her courthouse. So Cookie called me as soon as they took her in. And she said, how hilarious, right? LOL, LOL. And I said, are they going to give her the cornrows yet? And she's like, well, how was it? How was she when it happened? So Cookie's like, she was very strong. It's like, oh, because of her sentencing and what she was in there for, do they automatically put her in some sort of alcohol program? Do they have an alcohol AA for the elderly that they do in jail? I'm just some questions about this.
Do they hook her up to machines to make sure she can still breathe? She's very old. Do they have Do they have jail crutches that jail walking sticks that they could give Karen?
Do they have just like a fake bar where she can sidle up and sit on the stool just so she feels comfortable in a different environment?
Will they play her music from old Blue Eyes while she watches Murder, She Wrote?
So Cookie is like, yeah, well, just like if somebody was in there for drugs, they give them a drug type program. And so Ashley's saying like, what does she look like? What does she like to do in there? What are her activities? And Cookie says that Karen's reading a lot of books and she's exercising a lot.
So how is she with the girls? Is she forming friends? And Cookie's like, oh, they love her in there. Everybody's like, Miss Karen, Miss Kern, Miss Kern. And Giselle says that she saw Cal, and Cal said when Karen comes out, she'll be like trying to see Ashley and spend time with Ashley because, as a man or whatever, she's going to come out gay. Basically, is what they're saying.
Ash Top. Oh no!
Yeah,
please don't!
nice.
Please don't invoke Ash Top. I mean, we know Ash Top is making a return this season. We saw it in the trailer, but oh gosh. So Giselle is like, well, I was so fearful that somebody would try to do something to her, and then they would make a mark, and I was afraid I wouldn't have my camera ready in time. But looks like she's doing okay, which is too bad. So Cookie's like, yeah, well, this is what they won't, and they won't do that. So there's that. It's like, okay.
So is there a possibility of her getting out early? And she said, yeah, but they don't know yet. So then Cookie's like, oh, it's funny who's texting me. And it's Chris Samuels. And Ashley's like, not me finding out that Stacey's been trying to get with Chris Samuels. And they're like, what?
He goes, what?
Ashley,
what?
So Ashley's like, yeah, I met Chris Samuels through my friend Monique, in case anybody doesn't know who Monique is.
My friend Monique.
Yeah. So Monique and Chris announced their divorce, and Tatiana, Ashley's friend, came up to her at her Bloom Ball to say that Stacey reached out to Tatiana to hook her up with Chris Samuels. And she introduced them. And now Ashley is going to tell everybody that Stacey's trying to fuck Chris Samuels.
So Cookie's like, but I thought she was back with her husband. She's like,
Maybe this was before they got back together, but she was really making a play for him.
I don't know who this woman is. There's a whole man you paid to be your boyfriend. There's a whole divorce we can't find. There's a whole former Potomac husband that you're trying to have sex with. Call Monique. Get Monique in the chat. Get Monique.
Oh, are you going to bring your bodyguard this time? I love that Giselle's suddenly fine with Monique.
Of all the people to say, get Monique, that is Giselle, the recipient of Binder Shade that we'll never forget.
Okay, so now they're going to try and make me believe that she was trying to fuck Chris Samuels. What? Come on.
That seems like an Ashley fabrication. Like, I just don't believe that's like, I don't believe that's who Stacey's going for.
And
I think
then
she goes for like
we see in the preview that's coming up that Monique is saying there's two people. I talked to Chris myself, and there are two people who are part of this who are complete liars. And then we see Stacey's face looking really guilty. So they're trying to make us believe that Stacey was in fact trying to get with Chris Samuels. Which, come on,
yeah,
I don't believe it.
But deeply entertaining. Thanks everyone for being here. What a great time. We'll see you tonight or this afternoon for some Amazon Live. And until then, have a great rest of your day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.